Yo, this country has gone to the fucking dogs. I was just at Asda a few minutes back, and what an absolute disgrace. A mother, and she's got loads of kids, and one particular child, one of her daughters, could be about 5 years of age, maybe 4. And to be honest, I feel pity for the mother not being able to discipline their children. I don't know how this country is going to survive. See, they've abolished the smacking because it's classed as physical abuse. How is it classed as physical abuse? Let's go through it. If your kid's going to be misbehaving, right, and you can't smack them, they're going to be walking all over you. No respect. Like my friend said, when a kid's born, it's a blank slate. And that slate is dependent on the parents filling that blank slate with goodness and honesty. Not bloody filling it with attitude, lip, disrespect. Now, to be honest, this no smacking rule is a joke. Now that they've enforced it, every kid thinks they can walk over their parents like they're nothing. To be honest, the British government are complete jokes. That's the reason why I don't vote for any of these clowns in the world. Especially the ones in Britain. I don't vote for any of my council members. That's the reason why I don't vote. Because they're making up all these stupid rules. I mean, the no smacking rule is quite near enough old. But they need to remove it because kids are walking over their parents with no respect. No wonder their kids are ending up in youth hostels and fucking places like Calderstones, classed as mentally unstable. That's what happened to me. I ended up in Calderstones before any of this no smacking rule came out. Now Calderstones is now closed down because there's no need for them anymore. It's a mental hospital. There's no need for it. Now, I was not mentally unstable. I was just angry at the world. I hate my parents. My mother marries 2 douchebags within the space of so many years. She's still married to one douchebag because she can't be asked divorcing. And I'm sick and tired of watching the whole world go to shit because of some kids do not have any respect for their elders. Last year I think it were, I had a Mohican and I had it dyed green, fluorescent green. And I was walking down the street and 2 kids commented on my hair saying I look like a fucking highlighter pen. But it is way, no respect. To be honest, the government's gone to hell. I mean, to be honest, I don't know why we don't just kick everyone out of the government that runs the entire country, abolish the royal family and run it ourselves, become our own government, because this is a joke. The whole world has gone or the whole of Britain, Scotland and everywhere else has gone fucking hell in a handbasket because of the government making up rules like this fucking no smacking rule. Now that's been enforced, kids are walking all over their parents like it's fucking happy-go-lucky day. Let's take the piss of our parents. Let's walk over our parents like they're nothing. Back in my day, when I was young, when I did a runner from home, I had to do the walk of shame and the police picked me up off the street and brought me back to my mother's. When the door shut behind the police, my mum gave me a crack. And that worked for me. Look how I've turned out after being shoved in cobblestones. Perfectly stable, not angry at the world, because that's all I was angry at the world. Because I had a mother that had no respect for marrying muppets. She married one muppet when my brothers and sisters, before my brothers and sisters were born, and he died of cancer, which I really miss because I actually liked him after he cleaned himself up, because he was a full-blown alcoholic. He literally fell off the wagon years ago and then got back on the wagon and stayed there, and then he ended up with throat cancer, which took his life aggressively. I miss him. It was, you know, the best thing he ever gave me for Christmas was a bottle of Southern Comfort. Loved him for it. So that's one of my favourite drinks. Now, getting back on topic, the government are a bunch of arse clowns that like to push their weight around, come up with new rules for kids, like this no smacking rule. You can't smack your kids now because they fought it up, because it gives kids damage to their bodies. It's classed as child abuse, which is not child abuse. It's a punishment that is reserved for misbehaving kids. It worked for me. So that's the reason why I don't vote for any government official. I get these things in the post that these voting forms, I put them in the bin. To be honest, I don't know how they managed to fucking run this country without burning it to the ground. To be honest, we need to get rid of all the government officials and run the country ourselves. Each person running their half of the country. Like, I'd love to run my own flat. This flat that I live in. Buy my own flat off them, live in it. And that's the reason why the government needs to be erased. In other words, turn the Houses of Parliament into a museum. Turn Buckingham Palace and all the other palaces that the Queen owns into a museum. We don't need royal family fucking everything up, government fucking everything up, because they have enforced a stupid rule that makes no bloody sense, and it's nonsense. So they need to remove the no smacking rule, because the kids are walking all over their parents. In my time, a good crack across the back of the head worked. My mother gave me a crack across the back of the head. It worked for a time, and then I'd misbehave again. The whole point of smacking a kid is enforcing the rules of the house of which that kid lives in. If you can't do that, you lose any respect from your kids, because for one, if you remove a rule that says that you need a crack across the back of the head or a crack on the ass with a stick, a cane, if you remove those rules, society goes down the shitter, of which it has done now, because I've just witnessed what you would call humanity's worst of what's happening in today's society because of one rule being removed. See, smacking your kid ain't that bad, because it worked for me, and look at how I turned out. So if the government doesn't remove that stupid rule that says that we can't smack our kids, we need to remove the government officials from all the government in England. Because if we can't smack our kids, we don't want to vote for any fucking government arse clown. Because I'm sick and tired of having to listen to kids misbehave in public, embarrassing their parents and making a fool of the parents. So what you need to do, government, is remove the no smacking rule. Because if you don't remove it, you're going to have no respect from any person. Well, you've not got any of my respect. Houses of Parliament can go blow their own horses, because I don't want to live within a government that enforces a rule that says that we can't smack our kids. I'd rather go to Japan, where you earn a lot of respect by not fucking up. So here's a rule for you: if you do not remove that no smacking rule and allow the kids to be smacked again, this country is going to go to hell in a handbasket. Put it this way, it's already going to hell, because I just witnessed the worst thing ever, watching some kid walk over their parents, their mother, and not giving a crying hoot how their parents feel. This country is going down the toilet because of the government making rules as they go along. That no smacking rule, it's a joke. It's a rule that was enforced because of child abuse. Technically it's not abuse when you're giving your kid a hard-earned lesson of not pissing about. This government has gone down the shitter. I don't know how they've managed to fucking not falter from anything, because for one, I'd like to see the Houses of Parliament, like I said, turned into a museum, and every single palace that the royal family own turned into a museum. Kick the royal family off the throne and have the entire country, Scotland, Wales, England, you name it, all the countries that are within the Commonwealth run by the civilian public, hence me and all the other people that live in this country. So that's me done with the stupid, daft government. I am not voting for a government that enforces a stupid rule, as in no smacking. So you either remove it or you do not get any respect from the public. So you are now got a decision to make. Either remove the rule or have no respect for the public. Or the public will not respect you. So you've got a choice to make.